All right, let's just dive right into this explainer. We're going to unpack a super counterintuitive truth today: why trying too hard to get what you want actually pushes it further away. You know, as a mindset coach, I literally see this all the time. People just absolutely exhausting themselves chasing success. So, today, we're making a massive shift. We're moving from forced effort into natural flow.
I mean, have you ever wondered why you can so effortlessly manifest random, kind of useless things into your life, but the exact goals you desperately want just seem completely out of reach? It's a wildly frustrating cycle, isn't it? You put in the hours, you obsess over every single detail, and nothing. Crickets.
So here's our roadmap for today. We're going to quickly cover the burnout trap, the science of self-sabotage, the law of reversed effort, the gardener of intentions, releasing fear and resistance, and finally, some real-world habits for natural flow.
Okay, Section 1, the burnout trap.
Whether you're trying to forge a brand new personal path, or you're just grinding away in a high-pressure corporate environment trying to boost your productivity, pushing too hard is going to tank your spirit, for sure. There's this incredibly fine line between focused, aligned intention and, well, desperate, fear-based clinging. And once you cross that line, man, your goals suddenly feel like an exhausting second job. You aren't operating from inspiration anymore. You're just running on pure anxiety and this intense, overwhelming need for control.
The trick here is actually spotting these burnout signs early. Are you stuck in the dread loop? You know, waking up already anxious about your morning routines? Or maybe you're technique hopping, just frantically bouncing from scripting to the 369 method. Look, if you're grinding through 50 affirmations in an absolute panic and feeling totally emotionally flat, that's a huge red flag. It means you're acting out of desperation, not natural flow.
Which brings us to Section 2, the science of self-sabotage.
So why does this forceful approach backfire so spectacularly? Well, it's actually wired right into our brains. There's this psychological mechanism called ironic process theory. Psychologist Daniel Wagner proved that if you consciously command yourself, hey, don't fail, your brain is literally forced to keep the concept of failure constantly active just to monitor it. Basically, your hyper-focus on avoiding a bad outcome guarantees it becomes the only thing you think about. And the data from Wagner's studies brilliantly illustrates this. When subjects who were already under a mental load actively tried not to feel sad, they ironically ended up reporting significantly more negative moods. It's crazy. Consciously trying to suppress an unwanted thought just makes it the undisputed boss of your brain.
Plus, we have to talk about the brain's filter, the reticular activating system, or RAS. This system hunts for evidence of your true, deep-down internal beliefs. Panicked, conscious demands simply don't trick it. If your underlying vibe is a deep fear of failure, your conscious desperation just magnifies that feeling of lack. And your RAS, it's just going to show you exactly what you're so terrified of.
All right, moving on to Section 3, the law of reversed effort.
This whole scientific reality perfectly mirrors some pretty deep philosophical ideas. Thinkers like Aldous Huxley pointed out that genuine, profound success only really comes to people who've mastered this paradox, combining active effort with deep relaxation. Basically, the harder we consciously strain and worry, the less likely we are to actually succeed.
Philosopher Alan Watts called this the backwards law. Think about floating in water. If you panic and flail around fighting to stay on the surface, what happens? You sink. But if you just relax and let go, you naturally float. It's exactly like a beginner musician clunkily forcing out a performance versus a master who just lets the instrument effortlessly play itself.
Next up, Section 4, the gardener of intentions.
Author Ariel Ford has this amazing metaphor that totally nails the balance between taking action and peacefully letting go. She says a master gardener plants seeds with very clear intention. But, and this is absolutely key, they have the emotional maturity to completely trust Mother Nature's timeline. I mean, they don't go out there and violently yank on the little sprouts every single morning to force them to grow faster, right? You just have to let the seed do its thing.
So, to transition away from burnout, you've got to stop micromanaging every tiny detail of your life. Emotional maturity means trusting that your goals are going to unfold through a natural bridge of incidents that you can't even see yet. Believe it or not, letting go of that control and trusting divine timing is actually what speeds up your personal progress.
Section 5, releasing fear and resistance.
Okay, but how do we actually stop the mental freakout when we're terrified of failing?
We already know from ironic process theory that suppressing unwanted thoughts is a total disaster. Instead, try this brilliant step-by-step routine based on Viktor Frankl's concept of paradoxical intention. Set a timer for exactly 3 minutes and intentionally exaggerate your negative thoughts. Seriously, make your fears as huge and ugly as humanly possible. What happens is, very quickly, they become so completely ridiculous that your rational mind kicks in, you start laughing, and by actually accepting those thoughts, they lose all their power over your process.
Now here's a funny thing. After you release all that resistance, you might not feel this wave of manic joy. Instead, you might feel what we call resistance aftershocks, a really profound emotional detachment where you kind of feel like you just don't care anymore. Don't panic if that happens. It actually proves you finally stopped desperately fighting your current reality. That emotional detachment is exactly what fosters deeper patience when immediate results are still completely invisible.
Finally, Section 6, Habits for Natural Flow.
Let's turn all these abstract concepts into a real, daily checklist. If you're currently in that forceful, pushing energy, you need to initiate a permission pause right now. Just stop everything for 5 to 7 days. Let your nervous system fully recalibrate. Then, and only then, rebuild your practice, but at a drastically reduced 20% volume. This ensures you're operating from actual inspiration, not anxiety.
From there, build your minimum viable practice. Pick one single anchor method, like a calm morning ritual to set intentions without getting super attached to the results. Add 5 minutes of emotionally specific journaling and a quick gratitude list of 3 highly specific things. The whole goal here is building a sustainable rhythm so you can notice that forced signal and step back instantly. No more mindlessly grinding through 50 affirmations in a high-pressure panic.
Which brings us to a beautiful truth from Plato. Achieving your grandest desires really isn't about wrestling the world into submission. No, it's about conquering your own internal obsession with control. So, I want to leave you with this provocative thought to chew on today. What small piece of micromanagement can you completely surrender right this second to finally allow your success to come to you? Stop pushing, start flowing, and just watch what happens.
Before you go, if today's message resonated with you, I left something in the description that acts almost like a spiritual mirror. It's a personalized numerology experience that looks at your life path, strengths, repeating patterns, and timing. No pressure. Just something fascinating if you enjoy this kind of self-discovery. Check the description if you want to explore it. Like, share, comment, subscribe, and follow for more angel number insights, spiritual mindset upgrades, and manifestation wisdom. Thanks for supporting and watching. Have a great day.